Could you also provide maybe some examples of the most common integration challenges organizations face when connecting D365 with non-Microsoft tools or legacy systems?
Yeah, I'd say, one of the biggest ones is going to be in the manufacturing execution system, the shop floor automation. A lot of times that can be difficult to integrate robotics and some of the MES software you might be using if it's not Microsoft based products. That can be a little bit more difficult to integrate. And to be fair, it's difficult to integrate with any ERP system, not just Microsoft. Microsoft, if anything, is easier to integrate with just because the open architecture and the platform itself is more conducive to integration. But generally speaking, that's one of the more challenging areas to integrate. And then, certainly there's a lot of regulatory types of systems that are sort of one-off or very specialized to one industry that can be sometimes difficult to integrate with Microsoft or any other ERP products. So those are just a couple examples.
Yeah, that makes sense. And how important is industry experience versus general technical proficiency when selecting SI for D365 implementations?
I would argue it's actually more important than the industry knowledge is more important than the technical knowledge, because you can always find someone that knows the product, and the product is fairly, it's not simple, but it's a little more black and white. It works a certain way. There's a certain way you configure it. Yes, you need to know it, but that doesn't really matter if you know the software but you don't understand the industry. And what I mean by that, or just as an example, is if you don't understand the industry, you're going to be more likely to want to customize the software because you don't know how things could work in the software if you really understood the industry and what sort of the end state is that the implementing organization's trying to get to. So I'd say absolutely you want to know that your partner has industry experience. And I take it even a step further with Microsoft and say, is it an ISV, a third party provider that not only has experience in your industry, but has built some intellectual property specifically on the D365 platform that's specific to your industry. So there's a couple of different layers there, but I think it's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. What another great episode for Journey to D365 podcast. I think this has been such a fun series so far to learn all the different things.
Yeah.